Hey guys, for those of you who just saw that, I knew the summer rant. Apologies for going off on tangents and things like that. I stand by my feelings. I stand by it. Anyway, we're not here for that now. We've done that. We're past that now. Moved on from it. I don't know where my Jason mask is, so I'm not going to do the Jason picture today. Just not going to do it. Just have to settle for, I'll just use a reusable picture, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyway, guys, we're back with the pitches. We're getting through this series. Now the series is getting almost to the more ridiculous levels, too. This will probably be... I think the first couple, first 4 or 5 or so were kind of trickier to do the pitches because it's like, no, they were pretty good. I mean, as good as a Friday the 13th movie can be. But, they were good for what they were. Whereas now we're getting into this territory of like, oh, this is going to be a challenge. So anyway, I didn't do one on vacation because I was busy, and then there was, I was doing other things. But I also wanted some time to think because this is the trickiest one of them all. Because the other ones are just like, oh, tweak here, tweak here. This one is the one where we end on New Beginning. Roy is dead. And by the end, Tommy Jarvis is in the mask ready to stab Pam. Now, I'm not going to take the easy way out. Because the easy way out would be to just be like, it was a dream sequence. Dream sequence is cool. It was just a bad dream. We're good. But I'm simply going to say that he does stab Pam. She's not dead, but she is, wounded. Then, he runs out the window and all that he's already broken. And I think I would really make it more of a struggle. Still be a Friday the 13th movie somewhat. But I would say maybe that mask, since it's actually going to, I would tie it in, I don't know if they really tied it into the original, or the New Beginning one. But I tie in that this is his original freaking mask. This is Jason's mask. Now, I think if being a paramedic, maybe he could have had a friend of the cops or something that had evidence so that he could get the Jason mask. So we're going to talk about this mask. This mask now, it's been through some shit. He's been through death. Perhaps, the mask is slightly haunted by Jason's soul a little bit. Which I think is kind of what they were sort of getting with. So we're going to be having sort of this struggle with Tommy. So Tommy's going to be struggling because he doesn't really want to hurt anybody. But he also, this mask is over him. It's drawing to him. He feels like the Jason spirit is, really haunting him. Which is also why he stops himself from killing Pam. He does wound her. She does get stabbed. So the doctors treat her. Luckily she was in a hospital, so they already treat her. And that will be kind of the opening part of the movie. Her getting stabbed, kind of picking up where we left off. In that last movie. And then we're going to try to fix it from there. Let's face it, after one movie of having someone else be in the Jason mask, people were already pissed off. Having Tommy Jarvis, your somewhat hero, granted flawed hero with obviously PTSD, becoming the fucking Jason Voorhees was not the answer. Clearly that's why they fucking ignored it with Jason. I'm just cursing up a storm in these videos. I'm so sorry. Please don't flag me, YouTube. Please. But yeah, but that's why they ignored it with Jason's lips. But we're not going to do that right now. We're gonna, much like I did with the Rob Zombie movies and some of the other goofy things, Friday, Nightmares somewhat, where there were tricky things where I'm like, do I really have to do the Cult of Thorn with Halloween? I'm like, yes, I do, because that's what this pitch is about. It's about a challenge. This is the movie that's presented to you. The easy way out would be just like, just ignore it. But, there's been too much of that with continuity and things like that, where we just ignore the previous movie or ignore the previous, and then it's just and that's the new thing now with the requels, as they call them. It's like, that movie didn't happen. Let's just follow this movie and we're good. And then don't get me wrong, I can understand wanting to do that. Maybe that's what they should have done in the originals. But I think, we're trying to get a good path forward here. So we're going to have a little bit of a time jump. Not a major one, but a couple years. Because what we want to do is we're going to make Reggie our kind of hero. If you remember Reggie, he was an African-American kid, one of the survivors of New Beginning. And he was cool as hell. He also had the coolest brother in the world with his, damn enchiladas. That guy's awesome. He's been in some actual other stuff besides that too, actual name stuff too. So props to that actor. Very entertaining. But yeah, we're going to make Reggie our new, and I don't know if it'd be the same actor or not, because I know how quick these movies came out. Probably within a year of each other, didn't they? So we might have to get a new actor. But it's Reggie. So Reggie's going to be trying to reach Tommy. He's going to be like looking for Tommy. Tommy's gone missing. He's gone to Crystal Lake because that's where Jason hangs out. We're not at some weird camp thing we were at before. He's back at Crystal Lake. So maybe Tommy's trying to figure this thing out. He's trying to, how do I get rid of this mask? But the mask is kind of attached to him right now. Like he can't even take the mask off right now. It's sort of suctioned against his face. So this isn't just a normal hockey mask he puts on. It's like suction to his face. So that spirit of Jason, the killing that Roy did, he's got all this stuff messing with his mind. So this is very much, a very different take and all that, which I know some people would hate it, but it's okay because it's my pitch. You don't have to like it. It's not like it's actually getting made. Boy, I'm very energetic today. I mean, I had a pop at lunchtime at 2 a.m., but I haven't had one since. So it's just kind of weird, wild stuff. Eventually, I'm just going to fall. As soon as I hit the crash hits, I'll just be conk on the computer. Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, right, Jason Voorhees. So anyway, we are building, much like we did the other one, we are going to build to the actual Jason coming back. But we're getting there. We got to take our time. We're going to build the story a little bit. But Reggie is trying to get, Reggie's more of age now. He's at least a teenager now. So he's got some friends. And he's trying to convince Pam, who is obviously healed from her wounds. And she's a little distrusting. She's like, man, Tommy just stabbed me. What are you gonna do? Reggie's like, no, this isn't Tommy. This is that evil mask. This is Jason Voorhees. This is really good, man. So Pam's trying to help here and there. But I think there would still be killings because Tommy's trying to fight it, but he's not the willing Jason killer or the willing killer that Roy was to just kill people. He's literally trying to fight himself from the urge, but Jason's soul is overpowering him somewhat. So that's what he's kind of fighting. He's trying to fight. After he kills some people, he'll kill some campers, So Tommy's obviously going to have more PTSD issues after this, for sure. Yay! But yeah, so basically, we'll focus on this. We're not going to introduce the whole forest green thing that they introduced in Jason Lives, because that's not this movie. The one thing I'm kind of breaking away from. I'm not trying to we're not even going to call it Jason Lives necessarily right now. That could be the next movie, maybe. But we're going to really I would even call it Friday the 13th, Tommy's Plight or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that would be the way. But it's a stupid title. I don't come up with titles here. I'm just here for a pitch. So anyway. So Tommy will be killing people just like Jason, but there's still going to be this inner struggle. He's trying very hard. He's trying to get this mask off. He's trying to find a way to get this mask off. So Reggie and Pam are going to come, and they're going to kind of focus with him and try to reach him. And they also reach out to his sister, Trish. Remember Trish? His sister. And she's like, oh my God, this happened. Tommy's been taking over this Jason thing. And I knew how horrible it was that he went through that thing and had killed the original Jason. And, he's had this trauma. He's had all this stuff. So Trish comes back. And between Trish and Reggie and all that, they look into the mask. They said, look, the mask is really what's holding this power over him. This is what, is holding the power of Tommy. But Tommy is really guilt-ridden. He's like, I've killed people. I've killed innocent people. I just whatever happens, I have to pay for what I've done. Now, granted, some people aren't going to believe it. Like, oh, you're not Jason Voorhees. What are you talking about? But basically what will happen is they are going to finally find a way, maybe through some book stuff, not the Book of the Dead, because we're not going to go there, but they get some kind of way of getting that mask off his face. Now, he's going to be a little bit scarred from it because, it's been basically suctioned to his face. He's going to have some scars to it. But it'll come down. They'll have some, big fight and all that. He's fighting this thing. And then finally, get the mask off. And he throws the mask into the lake. And I would say Jason jumps out of the lake with the mask. But the last we knew Jason Voorhees, he was dead, right? I mean, technically he was alive at the end of the thing. On my last pitch, he was technically alive. But we're not going from that. Like I said, these are sort of continuing, but if we're going to continue, as I did with the other pitches, that didn't happen. What I did in that pitch for New Beginning didn't happen. That was my New Beginning, where we ignored the whole time Joe was saying in the Jason's just back. But the interesting thing, as of this timeline, Jason Voorhees has been buried. So, we don't know where he was buried, though. So, instead, we have an arm coming through the grave instead of the lake, because he wasn't buried in the lake. So comes through the grave and reaches his mask. It's very epic. It's like, I've got this. It's like getting Captain America with Thor's hammer. It's like he's got his mask and he's busting out. And Trish and the boyfriend, whose name I always forget, they're going to get killed in this one. Sadness. But they're trying to find him. Like, no, we're not letting this guy come back again. And, he takes him out. They get killed. And then Tommy Jarvis is just like enraged. And he's like, no, this time we're going down, motherfucker. So they have a big fight. Reggie and Pam get away. And Reggie hugs Tommy. And Tommy says, I'm finishing this once and for all. So he takes him to the lake and basically kind of chains him up, kind of like they did in Jason Lives. But like Reggie's like, come on, let's go. And Tommy's like, no. He has to pay for what he's done. I have to pay for what I've done. And Tommy sacrifices himself and goes underwater. And basically, Jason pulls him underwater. He drowns. And, that's basically how we end things here. So if we were to end the series here, that would be a way to end the series. So we follow up New Beginning. We repair some things that were obviously not great about a New Beginning. We bring Jason back, at least temporarily, and then we finally kill him back in the ocean, or back in the lake where he freaking belongs. Now Tommy's down there too, and that is the end of this. And so we have what we have here is a nice, like I said, struggle with the mask, with the possession essentially of Tommy. Not a full possession, but the spirit of Jason is in him. And so him fighting this, but still having kills, because this is still a slasher movie. There's still got to be kills. So we made sure that's still in there. We get Reggie back as sort of a main character. If you decide to continue the series from here, Reggie could be the main character. Certainly, we kill off Trish and her boyfriend just because they've been around for a couple. I let them survive a couple movies. So, and it builds Tommy's rage there. So, and this is the way Tommy goes out with Jason. Sort of the hero going out, taking out the villain. Tommy goes out a hero despite the horrible things that he's had to do under this mask. So, the mask is done. Jason is done. Tommy Jarvis is done. That's the end. The true final chapter. After 6 movies, we are done. Until the studio says, hey, we got a pitch. And then I have to do another one. So the next one I will be following will be Jason Lives. The actual Jason Lives. Now, I could easily do pitches for following this if we wanted to bring it back and all that stuff, but I don't want to do that. I want to try to keep these somewhat cohesive, but also here's what would do if you just... everything that happened in New Beginning happened, everything happened in Jason Lives happened, and then we go to the next one. So we'll go from there next. So cool. Hope you enjoyed this pitch. Not an overly long one, but at least had some time to think about it. I think that's the best way with these pitches is if I just try to come up with something on the top of my head, they just kind of turn into rambling messes as opposed to a cohesive story. So that's what I wanted to do today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. I'll be back with more pitches. I don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow or next week, during the week. Sometimes if I get home from work, if I'm energized, I might do one. We're trying to work our way through the series, though, so we have to follow Jason Lives. We have to follow Jason Takes Manhattan. We have Jason Goes to Hell. We have Jason X. We have Freddy vs. Jason, which I already kind of did with the Freddy one, so if you want to watch my Freddy vs. Jason pitch, that would be fine. And then we have the remake. And there will, of course, be the Crystal Lake series coming out soon, but I'm not going to try to follow that. Much like the Halloween new one, I'm not going to follow that now. It's too soon. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, that's 4 more pitches, 5 more pitches. We're almost through the Friday the 13th series. And I guess maybe just comment down below, guys, if there's another series you'd like me to tackle, whether it be Scream or, as I mentioned, I always seen 4 of the Hellraisers, so I can't really do that one. But Scream, or I Know in the Summer, or oh God, don't let me talk about that one again. As long as I don't have to talk about the series, because that's never going to be spoken again. Or if you want me to do Child's Play, Chucky, or something like that. I think I've seen all of those too. So I haven't seen the new series yet, but I've seen, including the remake, I've seen all of those. So I could probably do that series if you wanted to. But anyway, Scream would be fun too. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And we will, if you want to see some comedy stuff, comedy sketches, we will be doing those on Adam and Anna tomorrow. One will be influenced by that. I know I do last summer thing. Still kind of fleshing out the idea for it. But anyway, guys, check out that channel, subscribe, check out this channel, like and subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. Finger guns. Bye-bye.